Hey everybody, and of course, welcome back to another episode of Sports Plug with my boy Ish. If you are checking things out on Twitter, please make sure you follow on Twitter at X_Williams81. If you are on YouTube, please make sure you check everything out on the Sports Plug and subscribe there. If you are on Facebook, please make sure you like and share this broadcast so more people can check out this Week 13 preview that we have for this upcoming week for this NFL season. And if you have been paying attention, we did not have Thursday Night Football on Thursday due to the Ravens and Steelers COVID-19 game having to get pushed back multiple times. That's why we did not have Thursday Night Football. I know a lot of people probably tuned in and was wondering, why do we not have a game on Thursday? Well, because
that was your fault for not paying attention.
Hey, that's your fault. So technically, Week 12 was the longest NFL week in NFL history. So that's something that we are a part of history when it comes to Week 12 of this 2020 season. That was the longest week of the NFL season. Now we can finally breathe a little bit and go into Week 13. We have games starting today on Sunday. 2 Monday Night Football games, and we have back another Tuesday Night Football game. Hopefully that does not get pushed to a Wednesday Night Football game. So we're gonna get right into it with the Colts versus the Texans. This game is very important for the Colts to stay in the AFC wildcard race with the loss to the Titans a week ago. How do we see this game playing out, Ish?
Definitely going with the Colts in this one. Although my heart wants to choose the Texans, and the Texans could possibly come out with a win on this one. They played really well last week, so if they continue in that form, although we do got to remember, no Will Fuller, no Bradley Roby, both PED issues, so that's going to definitely hurt. If anything, the one that's going to hurt them the most, although a lot of people are focusing on Will Fuller, I think Roby is going to hurt them the most because although he was playing not that great, that's the last thing they needed was another person to go down in that secondary.
I definitely agree. And me or you talked about it in the pre-show before, we went live and saying that I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans pull this game out because of the greatness of Deshaun Watson and what he's able to accomplish with not as many pieces as our guy Patrick Mahomes is able to do, right? But just as we've seen all season long, he's great, but unfortunately without the pieces that he needs, he's unfortunately falling short from time to time. That's why I have to just go ahead, like you and I said, go with the Colts for this game. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Texans pull this game out. Now, quick little info, Romeo Crennel's coaching career at the moment, it is 4-3 with the Texans. Prior to with O'Brien, they were 0-4. At the moment, Jim Harbaugh is talking about coming back to the NFL. If Jim Harbaugh is somebody that's supposed to be coming back to the NFL, isn't this an organization that maybe want to open up their arms to a guy like him?
No. Please, no. I have already said it. Don't do this again. I want Eric Bieniemy to come, and I don't mind if he comes with Dorsey. The reports are they're a package deal. That's likely what's going to happen. I don't mind. Dorsey, a lot of us forget he put that team together in Cleveland that everybody's so hyped about. That's 8-3 right now. So that's the deal I want. I want Bieniemy and Dorsey. I don't want Harbaugh. He did all right with the 49ers. He is not having the same success with Michigan, but at the same time, I think I want mine like Eric Bieniemy with Deshaun Watson as opposed to anybody else. It's no disrespect to Harbaugh though.
No, I definitely understand. You know what I would love to honestly see though in next year? What about Bieniemy, the head coach for the Texans? And Harbaugh, the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh.
Texas football would be back.
Yeah,
Texas football would be back.
It will bring the buzz back.
And shout out to Greg checking out on YouTube. He said Harbaugh to the Texans isn't a bad idea in the grand scheme of things.
It is, Greg. Stop that nonsense.
We just have to wait and see how things play out. We're going to go ahead and get on to the Raiders versus the Jets. I'll be honest with you, Ish. I think the Jets could pull off their first win of the season. The way that the Raiders have been playing is very up and down like. but I'm not going to take that bait. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Raiders because they should win this game. But I'm not confident at all in this game.
Yeah. I mean, you said it in the pre-show, and when you said it in the pre-show, I was laughing at you, and I kind of looked at you in the camera like, "You sure they're gonna get their first win?" I mean, the Jets are pretty bad, but granted, the Raiders, when they decide to be terrible, they're right there with them. So I can see why you would say that, but I'm still going with the Raiders. They should beat a team like the Jets, and I think they will.
No, I definitely understand because let's be real. I think the Jets are in tank for Trevor mode.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to go ahead and make sure they lock up that number one spot.
Wait, do you really think that? You think they're tanking for Trevor Lawrence?
Let's be real.
You think they're done with Sam Darnold?
Let's be real. In football terms, people don't like to tank. It's very hard to tank. We don't tank. We compete. We this, that, and the third, right? I'm not saying the Jets are tanking. The Jets are just that bad that they look like they are tanking, right? It is what it is. And here's the thing with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold from the beginning with the Jets was put in a position where he was in a lose-lose position. I mean, seriously. I mean, he came in and then his head coach got fired, and then all of a sudden you get Adam Gase, who has no credibility for being a head coach, to coach you up for these next couple of years, and y'all haven't done anything together. So for me, watching Sam Darnold, we might not ever get to see how good Sam Darnold could be, because I think his first couple of years in the league has pushed back his progression to see him maybe become a Josh Allen. You know, for us to be able to see how good he really can be, I think the Jets have already messed up this project.
Yeah, he never got the opportunity. Didn't have the weapons, and I mean, who's to say Trevor Lawrence goes there and does any better? Because they've got a long way to go. They got a lot of holes. They lost some really good players in free agency before this season. I don't think any free agents are going to be willing, like trying to jump up and down to go to the
not at all,
especially after what happened with Le'Veon Bell, Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, come on.
I mean,
Jamal Adams.
No, you're good. Yeah, Jamal Adams. Yeah, no, you're good. It's just, but let's be real. And I've said this maybe since we've been in high school. The Jets haven't done anything since Broadway Joe, and even with the Chad Pennington era with Keyshawn Johnson, yeah, it was cool. But again, you didn't win anything. Now I'll say this: the Rex Ryan era, where they did go to 2 AFC Championship appearances, great time. But again, you didn't finish the job, right? Yep. So it's just one of those things. Like with the Jets, in my lifetime, I don't take the Jets seriously as a team to be quote unquote reckoned with. And even if they do get Trevor Lawrence, I don't see Trevor Lawrence being the guy to come in and just completely fix everything that the Jets have going on.
Agreed.
Yeah, so let's get to these comments right quick. Sorry about that. Let's get to these comments right quick. Greg said on the last topic, Harbaugh did better than all right-ish. They went to the Super Bowl, shaking my head.
I know, Greg. I know.
Shout out to Sergeant Kirkendall. He says Denver needs Trevor. Denver needs to tank and fire Elway and get that pick. And yes, Rex era, they did well. It's kind of too late for Denver to tank. They have a couple of wins on the season. I don't think they will tank, honestly. The Denver Broncos, I think they will do what they need to do. The Jets, honestly, I think their number one pick is locked up for the Jets. Now with Denver, let's go back to this comment. Denver needs to tank and fire Elway and get that pick. I agree wholeheartedly with the John Elway situation. I talked about this recently, too, when it comes to John Elway being with the Broncos for 10 years and haven't done anything. If I'm the Broncos as an organization, you have to move along. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
I agree. I agree.
They're going to stick with him to the very end. And I think they're still banking on Drew Lock. So I think that they
Go ahead. Backpack boy.
I think they're still waiting for my man to put that backpack on and carry him. And I mean, without the injuries, a lot of people will say he performed really well when he was healthy and when everybody was healthy on that team. So I think that's part of the reason why they may wait until next season, see how he does once everybody's healthy. They got all their pieces together. It's not a crazy COVID year. Yep. And then make the decision after that. So We'll wait and see, though.
We will wait and see. All right, on to the next game, Jaguars and Vikings, and of course, this is going to be such a great game as these two teams. I'll be
You
honest
said that,
with
but
you.
I think it will.
I'll be honest with you. I'm tired of both teams this season. The only bright spot the Vikings have, besides Kirk Cousins' game last week, is Justin Jefferson and his spectacular play of a rookie wide receiver with how deep this rookie class is. He is at the moment leading this rookie class with 918 receiving yards. And I picked him, unfortunately, we did not do a show, but I picked him to be the best receiver out of that class. A lot of people did laugh at me, and that's perfectly fine. A lot of people think it was going to be CeeDee Lamb. I can't remember the one more.
In Denver, my man.
There you go, Jared Jeudy. There's other people.
Jeudy.
There's other wide receivers that people thought that would be better than, Justin Jefferson. But just looking at the size that he is, and then also I just looked at the opportunity that he was going to be able to have in Minnesota, being the number 2 because Diggs left. And then people are going to, of course, double Thielen to make sure that they stop him. And Justin Jefferson, as of right now, as a rookie, is looking really good. What's going to determine how good you really are would be the next 2 or 3 years, and we're going to see if you are consistent like this, because once teams start keying in on you, it's going to be a lot different.
That is one thing that we should talk about sometime is this rookie wide receiver class. They said going in how deep they were, and man, they did not lie. These boys came out balling this year. Normally, you see rookie wide receivers come in and struggle, but these boys came out playing. CD, Justin Jefferson, Jared Jeudy, Brandon Ayuk, and Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
They have been balling. So, yeah, that's definitely something when we review the season that we definitely need to touch on.
Yes, sir. We will. We will definitely have that season recap as well. We'll definitely talk about that. But for the most part, the Vikings should win at least by a touchdown, 10 points.
Yeah, probably 10 points or so, but it'll be a good game.
All right. Go ahead and get into the Joe Burrow-less Bengals versus the Dolphins. Unfortunately, of course, with Joe Burrow being out for the rest of the season with that horrible knee injury, the Dolphins should take care of business at home in sunny Miami. Right now,
Happy boys up there. Hype them up. I've been talking all that nonsense about them.
I'll do it. At the moment, the Dolphins are number 2 when it comes to points giving up with 18.6 a game. Again, you're playing at home. You just come off a bye week. You should be well rested. This is a game that you need to take care of business.
Playing the Bengals.
Take care of business, and we'll see y'all next week to try to stay on par with the Buffalo Bills moving into Week 17. If you guys lose this game, but the Miami Dolphins, it's a wrap.
Oh, you done with them?
No, I'm not done. I'm just saying, winning the division, it's a wrap. I don't think that they can make the playoffs just due to that 6-7 seed in the AFC is very tough right now. We have to wait and see how these next couple weeks pan out. But for this week, you have to take care of business at home.
Yeah, I think they will. There's not much to say here. Bengals don't have Joe Burrow, so that offense is going to struggle. The defense hasn't really done anything for me all year long, so Dolphins, just go ahead and take care of your business.
What's very disappointing about that Bengals defense is, can you even name more than 3 people on that defense right now?
No.
That's seriously. That's what's sad about it.
I mean, that could be
they had. I mean, you're right, but I mean, they had Carlos Dunlap. Remember, he got traded earlier in the season. You have William Jackson. I think William Jackson is a hell of a corner, but unfortunately, just due to injuries and just not being consistent, his this past year has not been like his rookie year. His rookie year was a really, really good year that he had, but this year it just don't seem like has been consistent. But with the Bengals moving forward, I think the Bengals are in the same boat as with the Jets. Let me take that back. When it comes to, they have their quarterback, but they need more pieces around to help out and build that team, because Joe Burrow cannot do it by himself.
Yeah, but I would argue when he was in there, we saw on the offense side, they were doing some they were doing some good things. He had a good connection with T. Higgins. So I think that, they've got some pieces there. They just need to flesh it out a little bit. The defensive side is where they really need to go in and overhaul up there, get a lot of draft picks in there.
And that's another rookie wide receiver that we talked about in that rookie draft class as well, is T. Higgins. Hell of an athlete at Clemson. I just be honest with you, I don't think that they are using him the right way in Cincinnati at this moment. So
I mean, what can they do right now?
Give him the ball in every damn play like they did at Clemson. Let them do it all.
They can try.
That's what they need to do. And shout out to Chad Bowe. He says, "Good old Saints, good old." I love that Louisiana good old stuff.
Oh my gosh!
All right, Browns versus Titans, the battle of the running backs. Cannot wait for this game. This is going to be old school Jim Brown versus Earl Campbell type of AFL football. I cannot wait. NFL Films will be on the sideline. It will be 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I cannot wait. This game is, and like we talked about in the pre-show, this is big for the Browns, but this is even bigger for the Titans as well, because you are at home. You just beat the boogeyman last week in the Colts. Last week, people still might not take you as seriously just yet because people are waiting for the fall off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the Browns, a lot of people still don't even believe in you, period.
Mm-hmm.
If you can come into this game in Nashville and upset the Tennessee Titans, I think that is a very telling moment for the Browns, more so for the Titans, because if you look at the Titans makeup-wise, I think the Titans are solid moving into the playoffs. But the Browns, they still have a couple of questions, especially with losing OBJ. A lot of people feel like, can you even replicate what y'all were doing before the injury?
Let me just say this. I did choose the Oilers to win this game. Mm-hmm. But if the Browns somehow find a way to win this game, it's not gonna do anything to change my idea or feeling about the Oilers, but it will make me respect the Browns a little bit more if they go into Nashville and win this game. I will stop calling them imposters, because I still feel like they are imposters. And I think that they are going to get exposed today like imposters should be exposed. My man, Tannehill and the King are going to put up some numbers on them. But I could see that two-headed monster that I always talk about with the Browns causing that defense some trouble. And if they can't stop that, it opens up the passing game for Baker Mayfield, and that's where it could get ugly. So I'm not discounting the Browns. Trust me, anybody that's watching this, I'm not discounting them. I realize the talent they have. I realize what they can do. I just think that the Oilers are I think they're more ready to compete in the playoffs and with some of these top teams. I don't think the Browns are there yet. I think the Browns are up there in the conversation of best of the rest.
I got you. No, I got you. I like the comment section right now. We got a little battle between Greg and Sergeant Kirkendall saying Browns with the win today. Sergeant Kirkendall said, "Hey, I got that Cash App bet, so y'all figure out what y'all want to do, in the comment section, and we will definitely figure out how this game goes on." I think the Titans should win pretty handily, especially once we get into that second half of the game. And the Titans should do what they should do, and
it's going to be a fast game regardless.
I've seen people say that throughout the week because of the running aspect. But to be honest with you, I think it's going to be a regular 3-hour, 10-minute type of game. I'm just all right. We gonna see. Like I said, I'd be honest with you. I think it's not going to go as fast as y'all think it's going to go. Quick little update to everybody that have not heard. Unfortunately, Jadeveon Clowney has undergone very quietly season-ending knee surgery. So for Tennessee Titan fans, looks like the Tennessee Titans will be missing one of their biggest offseason acquisitions in Jadeveon Clowney for the rest of the season. But to be honest with you, it hurts, of course. But if you look at the makeup of the team and all the pieces we've been missing throughout this season so far, it is very telling that we are 8-3 at the moment, because if was a fifth, we'll all be drunk. If we were good right now, who knows what that record could be right now. So we'll move along. We'll talk about it another day. Be very interesting to see what happens in the future with the Tennessee Titans. And Sergeant Kirk all said, you can call me Lloyd, fam. Retired over 2 years now. I feel you, but you're still Sergeant Kirk and all to me. All right, so we got Lions, no Tigers, but Bears, oh my. And to be honest with you, looking at this game, I definitely said, oh my, why in the hell we got to pick this damn game? Because both of these teams have disappointed me so much this damn season that I looked at this game and I really didn't want to pick anything. I really just wanted to be like, nah, I'll take my L. And to be honest with you, no matter who we pick, we're going to take an L. That's honestly who I feel. We pick the Lions, the Bears going to win. Pick the Bears, the Lions going to win. That's honestly how I feel right now. And just we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens when this game's over with. At the moment, we have the Bears. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they use Trubisky and Nick Foles for this game. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the defense caused a scoop and score for the Bears and score more touchdowns than the damn Bears offense. So I think this game is going to be very sloppy. It's in Chicago. I don't know at the moment right now what the weather's looking like in Chicago, but it's not going to probably be pretty. It's probably going to be nice and windy, as it should be in the Windy City. But we shall see. Every time I pick the damn Lions, they lose. So yep. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that this week.
Really, we should just flip a coin. Whoever win the coin toss, we just say they win the game, and let's not play it, so we don't have to deal with it.
Pretty much. That's pretty much how that goes, and we're just going to go ahead and move on from that game because that game is not intriguing. Unlike this game, the Saints versus the Falcons. Now, we talked about this in the pre-show, and if you guys, of course, have been paying attention to all of our picks, we've been all on one team. We've been all on the Titans, or all on the Dolphins, or all on the Vikings. Well, this is our first pick where we are a little bit split because, and I'll let Ish start it off first.
Yeah, I mean, you still don't got Drew Brees. Taysom Hill didn't impress anybody last week. They kind of squeaked. You played against a team. They had a good defense. I'm not going to discount Denver's defense. Denver has a really good defense. But, I mean, the passing yards and everything, he did not have the best passing game. So when you look at that, the Falcons have been playing really well. They came out and they shocked the world, I think, last week. I don't think very many people picked them over the Raiders like I did last week. And they came out and they whooped up on the Raiders. They are sneakily starting to get better. They got Raheem Morris coaching there, and I think that those players have something to play for. I think a lot of them they resonate with Raheem Morris. They want him to get this job. They feel like he's the right guy, and they're playing for him at this point. So they are turning things around, and they're really coming out fired up. This is a divisional game. I think that the Saints, I'm sorry, guys, Taysom Hill, he's a football player, but he's just not that guy to lead you to a victory. And if it is a close game, I think that the Falcons are going to win, and I think that's what's going to happen. In a divisional game, they're going to come out ready to play, and they're going to beat these Saints.
Hey.
That's who's going to beat the Saints.
Okay. All right. Hey, I love the hypeness of it. I will say this one little fun fact. The Saints, since week 9, has only allowed one offensive touchdown.
That's all about to change. Oh, not to mention, shout out to my boy Young Ho Ko, because leading the NFL in points.
Yep,
boy, he's gonna be booting and scooting all over.
my boy up in Atlanta right now getting all of the black women that he possibly can right now, because he is on one, and I know for sure a lot of women in Atlanta right now are doing whatever they possibly can to make sure that he is playing up to par. If you know what I mean. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get on to this NFC West showdown with the Rams and the Cardinals. We talk about the NFC West every week when it comes to how good of a division that is. And with this Rams and Cardinals matchup, at the moment, during the Sean McVay era, and that's since 2017, the Rams are 6-0 over the Cardinals. Will that change today?
No. The bad little toddler is going to get beat again. I'm sorry. I just don't think I think that against the 49ers last week was kind of a fluke for the Rams. I think that they will come out looking to rebound, looking to establish themselves, especially that defense. And I think Cliff Kingsbury, I'm losing a little bit of faith in you and what you're able to do. So I definitely think that defense, it's more so about the Rams defense for me. The defense is going to come play lights out. And yeah.
Yep, Lloyd Kirkendall just said that Aaron Donald is playing lights out. He is, if you have not been keeping up, I feel like he's definitely in the top 5 for MVP this year, as he is and should be every year. The defensive side of the ball, just because of how much havoc he wrecks on that defensive side of the ball. I think Aaron Donald is everything that people thought Jadeveon Clowney was going to be.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but with Aaron Donald, if he continues to do this for the next 3 more years, at one point in time, Warren Sapp was talking about how he's not better than him. Yes, he will be. If Aaron Donald continues to do what he's able to do, it's no way that people can say that. Well, don't get me wrong, Warren Sapp was a bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
And we can have that conversation. We can bring OG guys on here. We can all have that conversation one day. We can talk about that. But right now, if Aaron Donald is changing the game on the defensive side of the ball, you cannot block this man.
Yeah, I agree. You just can't block him. He is a nightmare. And then when you got Jalen Ramsey on the back end locking it up as well, that's why I thought, for me, I thought they were going to win last week. And I thought they were possibly going to win out because this defense is the truth, man. Aaron Donald alone, but we'll have to see. They got to bring it every week. And then Jared Goff and that offense also got to show up.
No, I definitely agree. Now, the best thing about Jared Goff this season is, and like we talked about before, I feel like he was able to take a step back and learn more from McVay and to say, look, I am a system quarterback, but it's okay because I'm in the right system for what I need to be in right now. So let me capitalize on the situation and do what I need to do. And I feel like we've seen an even better Jared Goff decision-making, getting the ball out quicker, making Robert Woods look like the Robert Woods that he's looking like right now, whatnot. And even with losing Todd Gurley, I think a lot of people thought, oh man, he's losing his bell cow of a workhorse. And the Rams brand continue to move forward. At the end of the day, we play football all our life. One thing they always talked about with the NFL is the shield is the shield. It's gonna move along without you, right? With or without you, right? So at this moment, that's how I feel about the Rams with Sean McVay and everybody else that they have on that team. They're gonna keep pushing forward, and I will state this every week, and I'll state it again. I would not be surprised at all if the Rams are in the NFC Championship game.
I don't know about that one.
I'm just saying.
Don't know about that one just yet.
All right. On to a team that we know will not be in the NFC Championship game. The G-Man and the Seattle Seahawks. At this moment, the New York Giants are the divisional leaders of the NFC East with 4 wins. It just sounds painful to hurt. I mean, it just sounds painful to even say, and it hurts me because a team from the NFC East will be able to host a playoff game.
Yeah, that's terrible. They should make an exception just for this year. Get rid of that, please. We don't want to see that at all. Seahawks going to wipe the floor with them. That's it. I don't even want to.
Now, could we maybe see some career stats maybe for Russell Wilson this game? Could him and DK Metcalf have a 4 touchdown type of game to DK Metcalf? Could this really get ugly?
It's possible, but at the same time, it might stay close. You don't know. With the Giants, the problem with the NFC East teams, as much as we talk about how bad they are, they're decent teams. They just, for some reason, don't want to come out and play sometimes. And then every once in a while, they'll play a game where you're like, oh, I forgot that they actually knew how to play football. So it could be, but I'm just going to wait and see. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to be disrespectful and say that they just going to, put career numbers on them.
At the end of the day, no matter who wins the division, no matter if it's Washington football team, the Giants, the Cowboys, or even the Eagles, it might only take 6 wins to win this division. That's what's crazy to think about it. It might only take 6 wins.
It could be 4. They could all continue to lose.
Oh my goodness! Please don't say that. No, because they still got some teams that got to play each other in the next couple of weeks in that division. So there's no way unless we go into ties. Oh Lord, let's not even think about that. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, on to another NFC East team who we're just shaking our heads at, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Packers this game. Before we get into this game, just want to give a quick update to everybody that's checking out the Sports Plug. Recent reports have come out about Doug Peterson and the hot seat for his coaching position has heated up tremendously. And maybe Doug Peterson might not be the coach moving forward. Again, if that is a destination that could open up next year, could we see, again, maybe Jim Harbaugh, Eric Bieniemy, got other coaching candidates out here, but could Philadelphia...
the defensive coordinator from the 49ers.
49ers, yes. Robert Schleff. I can't say his name the right way, his last name the right way, but yes, the defensive coordinator from the Niners. A lot of good things about him, and he's definitely waiting on his next opportunity, or his opportunity to be able to become a head football coach in this league. But with the Eagles, they have to find somebody that embodies what the Eagles are, right? Same way with John Gruden with the Raiders.
Yep. I agree.
They need to find somebody that is a Eagle through and through. And I'm not saying they had to play with them and be in the order. I'm just saying that type of Rocky type of mindset. People in Philly, they love Rocky because the underdog story. They love being able to get up off the canvas when we're knocked down, and
they love to throw snowballs at Santa
and batteries. Yes, all that stuff. But with a guy like Robert, the defense coordinator from the 49ers, I think that might be a really good, opportunity for him to become the head coach for the Eagles because of the way that, he's a big guy. He's no nonsense type of guy. Don't play that stuff, and let's go out here and work, and let's go out here and be great. And I think he'd be a great addition for that NFC East to get these other coaches up and going too.
Yeah, I think that would be the right move. I think Peterson, the way and I don't know that it's necessarily just Peterson, but the way that they've handled this quarterback situation with Carson Wentz, where they have just proven that they're willing. I mean, you drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round, and then you decided that you're just going to die with Carson Wentz. I mean, that to me has been puzzling because it's like, why draft?
No, it's no. It's not puzzling. We all know what that is. That means that the coach didn't make that decision. That was a managerial decision. Organizational decision that the organization made, saying that we need to get a quarterback because we don't believe that Carson Wentz can stay healthy consistently. We need to make sure we have somebody, just like we had with Nick Foles, to help us win a Super Bowl. We need to make sure we have somebody that can come in and play and continue to move this team. That's what I think the conflict is going on amongst the Philadelphia nation is. You have the organization, you have the head coach, you have the players, and you have all these fans that feel like since we love this team so much, we got to ride or die with them. It is what it is. But they also feel like, look, we got to change some things up because it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand you sticking with him while y'all were leading the division because everybody in the division was that poor. But I'm going to tell you right now, the G-men, before Daniel Jones got hurt, were starting to pick things up. The Washington football team with Alex Smith, they're picking things up. You guys are following behind, and y'all are still willing to die with Carson Wentz at the helm. Like, why not switch it up? At this point, you have nothing to lose because you already out of the playoffs. So, like, dude, try.
Well, technically, I mean, you're not.
With Carson Wentz, you're not even in the hunt.
I mean, technically, you are.
Sure.
That's what's horrible about it. Like, I can't even say that you're right because you're not. Because if they win one game, they could be the division leader just like that.
Except for the way that offense has looked, with Carson Wentz at the helm, it doesn't look like they're gonna win a game.
Win the division.
Well, they can't win the game. They gotta win a game.
They ain't gotta win this game. They can win next week's game. They can win next week's game. I have the NFC East going 0-4 this season. This weekend, to where next weekend it's right back to where they start off again. You know, again, I don't think this division will be set in stone until maybe week 17. That's what's scary to think about this damn division.
This is horrible.
We could have a team that is fourth in week 16, and move up to first in week 17 and win the division.
Do you realize they play the Saints next week, right?
They're gonna win that one. I'm bullshitting. I'm bullshit.
I want everybody in the comments to just go ahead and light X up on his Twitter, on the Facebook. Like,
don't do that. Don't do that. No, you're gonna light me up. They're gonna be mad when they pull off that.
And then
upset.
you realize they play the Cardinals the next week, right?
And Cliff Kingsbury gonna do what he do best and choke. Eagles gonna pull off that win.
Oh man, it's not looking.
Nah,
good
it's not looking good at all for the Eagles. It's not looking good, and as they say in Houston, you live by the 3, you die by the 3, right?
That's right.
Well, same thing with the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to live with Carson Wentz, and they will die with Carson Wentz. All right. So. On to the Patriots and Chargers. And this is another game we talked about in the pre-show that even though it might not look like a sexy matchup, I think this is a matchup that we have to look at right now because this could be something. This game could be something that moves into the future for both organizations on how they want to go directional wise with these organizations. With the Chargers, we talked about the past couple of weeks. I'm worried about Anthony Lynn's job security, and then also with the Patriots when it comes to Cam Newton, it looks like this might be a 1-year stop with Cam Newton with the Patriots, and Cam might go elsewhere. So
where?
That's the thing, you know. We have to wait and see. Of course, it's very but at the moment, as you guys see with our picks, we are split because I really would like the Chargers to win this for Anthony Lynn. You know, I think Anthony. We both talked about. I think Anthony Lynn is a good coach. Hopefully, he can survive this onslaught of injuries and hopefully be able to be ready next season. And we'll see how good of a coach you really are. But he also has some coaching, you know, question marks that we've seen, especially last week against the Bills, where it make you scratch your head and like, what are you doing? So for me, I have to pick the Patriots because I feel like Bill Belichick will bring this Patriots team into LA, focused, ready to get a win. And I don't think that they will be able to still make the playoffs, but at least compete in. That's what Bill Belichick does as a head coach, right? Just make sure that he put his team in the position to be able to compete and have an opportunity to win the game.
I mean, Cam Newton is not going to be with New England next season. And I still don't have faith in his passing. And as a result, because that Chargers defense, even without the pieces that they have injured, because they are still a really good defense, they're in the top 10 rushing defense. I think that they're going to win this game. I said it in the pre-show, you never really want to pick a rookie quarterback that has to face Bill Belichick. But this guy has proven to be a guy that is poised, that studies well, and plays to the moment. And he does that really well. He showed that when they played the Chiefs. They almost were able to beat the Chiefs in LA. I think that they're going to find a way to win this game. And I just don't believe in the Cam Newton Patriots. I'm sorry.
No, I definitely understand. I mean, they have been up and down this season. You've won games you weren't supposed to. You lost games you weren't supposed to. You know, we're not used to seeing that with a Bill Belichick coach team. But, I mean, let's be real. We always knew going into the season with both of these guys that we're going to be growing pains throughout the season because this is new. This is new for everybody. Bill Belichick hasn't coached a quarterback, a different quarterback since Tom Brady tore his ACL in 2010. And for Belichick to pretty much, like, how can I say, just start from ground zero all over again? You know, they pretty much have to start the season all, you know, freshly new with everything from COVID to a new quarterback to new coordinators to new defense. You know, let's remember the defensive team that they had, the Patriots last year, is gone. You know, it's only have Stephon Gilmore and the McCourty twins. Everybody else is gone.
Yeah.
The offense, the only main weapon you have is Julian Edelman. You know, I mean, he only shows up during the playoffs, and you ain't getting there. So, I mean, yeah, everybody can laugh all they want to. We all know what Julian Edelman's about. Julian Edelman ain't no number one wide receiver. Number two, he's a number. He plays like a number one during the playoffs. But for him to be your main guy, it's hard for you to succeed. Like, it is what it is. Same thing with let's be real. That's Cam Newton's career in the NFL. When your main wide receiver has been a tight end, same thing with Lamar Jackson. When your main wide receiver has been a tight end, it's hard for you to be able to be a complete quarterback.
We can debate on the Lamar.
We can't. I'll say this. Let me take it back. You can have your safety blanket because that's what your tight ends are for, right? The tight end is for you to have your safety blanket, for you to dump it across the middle, get those safe 5 to 10 yard plays. I got that.
Shouldn't be a playmaker.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Is you can have it in Kansas City with Travis Kelce. You can have it in San Francisco with the 49ers because you have elite wide receivers on the side to where you can't double. You can try to double the tight ends all you want to, but you're going to leave somebody one-on-one, and that's going to be hell to pay. So that's what I'm getting at is you can't have your main guy be the tight end when you have below average wide receivers on the outside.
I got you.
That's all.
I got the point you're making.
All right. Let's go ahead and get on to Sunday Night Football with the Broncos and the Chiefs. There you go. See, I got you, baby. I got you.
You got me. I feel
and surprise everybody, looks like Ish is going to go ahead and go with, the Chiefs for this game. Because let's be real. I mean, if you watch the Broncos all season long, it's just very disappointing, except for a couple of games. What's up?
Let me just say this. For everybody that has been watching for the past couple of weeks, y'all have heard us trash the NFL for putting some of these games on prime time. I am going to stay consistent, even if it is my team that's playing in prime time. This game should have been moved. They need to move this game out, and they should have put like the Oilers and the Browns should have took the spot because nobody wants to watch the Chiefs play the Broncos other than people who live in Kansas City or
Missouri or Kansas.
Both sides. And it depends on what part of Kansas you live in. Because if you're on the west part of Kansas, you might be rooting for the Broncos because you're a little bit closer over there. So, but either way,
a state divided.
Yeah, but either way, other than those people, nobody wants to watch this game in prime time because we know the Chiefs going to come out on top. The only caveat I got to say to that, my man.
Put it on.
He might just step it up because he's going to Kansas City. He played at Mizzou. He might try to have a game tonight. We might see something from him. I don't know. I'm not saying that he's going to light the world on fire and win this game. But I am saying he might come out and try to make a couple things happen because he is going to Kansas City. And being that he played at Mizzou, it's a pretty, that's a big thing for him. So
I thought you were going to hit the Alicia Keys and hit that, "This lock is on fire." I thought you were going to hit something like that. No,
the man's coming back from COVID. He's anything but on fire.
Who knows? Maybe his inside's feeling a little fiery from COVID. Who knows?
It might be.
I will say this. Kansas City has won 10 games against Denver. So that means over the last 4.5 years, the Kansas City Chiefs have taken care of business. Lloyd says, "Chiefs all day. I want my boys to get the business. Fuck Elway. Stop Drew." No. So with the Chiefs, I feel like they should take care of business at home. Sunday night primetime game. You know how your boy Mahomes do. You know how your boy Hill do. Travis, your boy Kelsey do. I think Kelsey gonna come in with a better outfit than his performance will be on Sunday. Not saying that he's gonna have a bad performance. I'm just saying Mr. Suave's gonna come in. He's gonna have the trench coat. Boy gonna have the trench coat. He gonna have fresh, the fresh beard lined up. He gonna look fresh, and he might have about 5 catches on about 50 yards. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy.
I'm not expecting too big of a game from Travis, to be honest, because I think they might just get up early and then just try to run it out. We might there might be a Le'Veon Bell sighting.
No, there will be. I happy you brought him up. That's a guy that I feel like you guys have to start getting him involved even more into the. I'm just saying. I mean, you got to get him some touches.
We don't need to.
All right. We'll agree to disagree. How about that? We'll agree to disagree. All right. Now, again, if you guys have been paying attention with this NFL season, we have some games that have been modified due to the Ravens and Steelers game last week. So this week we have 2 Monday Night Football games. First, starting off with the Washington football team versus the Steelers. Of course, we are all on the Steelers on that game. I think the Washington football team can actually make this a competitive game in the first quarter. And then after that, I don't think it's going to be a game. No, I'm not this game. I think the Steelers will catch an L. I think maybe even 2 L's before the season is over with, but it ain't going to be today.
I mean, the Steelers are coming
tomorrow.
I feel like the Steelers are coming off a really short week. I feel like the Steelers are – I mean, that was a lot to have to handle, and it's potential. There is potential there for the Washington football team to win this game, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I'm still picking the Steelers because I'm not stupid, but at the same time.
I will say with the Steelers, with them being at home helps out tremendously.
Oh, yeah, that does.
For both games.
Oh, yeah.
For both games, because with the Ravens having to travel like they did and also have they actually had to get their plane delayed because it was snowing in Pittsburgh as well, too. I feel like that was something that, besides all the other stuff that happened with the Ravens, that also played a part on why they lost. But with the Steelers being at home for both of these games, not having to travel, get that home cooking, I think they should take care of business, especially playing on Monday Night Football. You got the semi-lights. You're not going to be on prime time, but you'll be on prime time if that makes sense. And they should take care of business, of course, with Mr. Tomlin.
Yep.
I think last week's game was because it was a divisional game against one of their most hated rivals is why that game was the way that it was. But for the most part, the Washington football team is not the Ravens. So we're not going.
See it.
Mr. Lloyd said, of course, this is the upset of tomorrow of the week. He feels like the Steelers will lose. I don't see it happening. But
I can see it happening.
We will check it out on the recap show. How about that? All right, Monday Night Football. Again, this is the second game of the Monday Night Football slate. The Bills versus 49ers. Of course, we are all on the Bills on this one. The main thing for me to see is how do the Bills travel from East Coast to West Coast, see how they play that game. It's not an early game per se, but teams that have to travel from East Coast to West Coast or vice versa, it's very interesting to see how they play. We saw Russell Wilson a couple weeks ago, even though he was undefeated, go from West Coast to East Coast, took his first L against the Buffalo Bills. So how do we see this game going, Ishmael?
I definitely see the Bills. I'm not worried about the East Coast to West Coast thing, to be honest, because if you look at the playoff picture in the AFC, they don't got any teams that they're going to have to travel too far west to play anyway. So I don't care about how they play that. I just care that they beat a team they're supposed to beat, because if they do not, then that gives a little bit of credence to your Miami Dolphins that you always hyping up over there that you think is going to beat them for the division. So they need to go ahead, take care of business so that they can prove me right that they are ready to win this division and take that torch from the Patriots, because I do believe this is the year where the Patriots are handing that torch over to the Bills and potentially the Dolphins to run this division moving forward, maybe for a couple years or so, while the Patriots figure things out in New England. So I'm hoping Josh Allen and that offense step up. That defense, they've been playing all right. I want them to continue doing that. They better not let the 49ers sneak up on them, because everybody should have witnessed last week that the 49ers, although their record is pretty poor and they have all those injuries, that Kyle Shanahan gets his team ready to play, and they are not a joke to mess around with.
Ishmael, everything you just said is 100% correct. And that actually makes me want to switch over to the 49ers, because fun fact as well, Buffalo Bills have lost 4 straight games on Monday Night Football. So
I did not know that.
It does make you want to switch over to the Niners, especially playing at home. But again, this is one of those games for me, the same way with the Dolphins. If you want everybody to take you seriously and to show, that's all I'm saying, and to show that, hey, we ain't the same old Bill, we ain't the same old Dolphins, we ain't the same old Titans, we ain't the same old whatever team, you have to take care of business on Monday Night Football primetime away game because that's what good teams do, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and see how that game plays out. All right, Tuesday night football instead of course, Thursday night football. Cowboys versus Ravens. Again, this is just for this week. We will have Thursday night football week 14, so everybody, of course, be ready for that. Ravens, Cowboys. We have a split on this one. I feel like I said previously, the NFC East will go 0-4 this football week. Ish doesn't feel that way. Ish, would you like to start it off for me?
I mean, you see it down there. I picked the Cowboys. I got the Cowboys winning this game. I don't really believe in the Ravens. Yes, Greg, I have chosen the Cowboys. Napoleon, if you out there, you watching, I got you, my man. I got you. I think that the Cowboys can potentially win this game. We saw what happened when the Steelers came in. They played the Steelers fairly close. They almost were able to pull that win off. I think that the Ravens offense, there's too many question marks for me. You got Lamar Jackson coming back, but it's more of the same for me. Is he going to be able to hit these wide receivers, or is he going to live and die with his tight ends and hope that, the Cowboys don't pick up on the tight ends? I just don't know about that. The defense as well. I mean, the defense is okay. Nothing to brag about. We'll have to see. The Cowboys, I do think the Cowboys are going to win this game, though.
I will say this. What helps the Cowboys in this game is that they're not playing in Dallas or Arlington. I'm sorry, not playing in Arlington.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
The reason why I say that is because for some reason the Cowboys just cannot win at home. I don't know. But anyways, but seriously, when you play inside of a dome, the game is, of course, you don't have to worry about the weather, right? Playing in Baltimore, depending on how this weather is, we saw what happened last week with the Ravens and Steelers, how that weather affected the game. I'm not saying that it affected it to where you couldn't move the ball down the field, but I'm saying it affected it to where you have to make certain play changes, right? Play call changes, right? So with the Ravens, they're going to run the ball. If the Cowboys can stop the run, if the Cowboys can stop the run, this will be very telling to see how the Ravens look, because if they lose this game to the Cowboys, I think it might be done with this season when it comes to the Ravens' playoff hopes, and they're going to have to figure out what they want to do with Lamar moving forward, because they said from coaching to organization to the owner of the Ravens, everybody was all in on getting Lamar and building this offense around Lamar Jackson, right? Well, you see the highs that it can get you, and you see the lows that it can get you. So where do you go from there?
I think, and to your point, I think that it's similar to, not quite the same, because I think he's a better athlete than RG3 was, but it's similar to the situation of when RG3 came into the league. He made defenses have to adjust to him, have to figure out his game plan for him. And once they did, it changed how he played. Now, he played a part in that too, because he wanted to be hard-headed and stay in the pocket.
Yep.
But I think that's the same thing we're seeing here with the Ravens, as far as teams are now, they know how to play against Lamar Jackson. They got enough film on him that they can game plan for him. And like he said, defenses are calling their plays out because it's predictable. We know y'all going to run the ball. We know y'all going to throw to the tight end. Like, y'all, there's nothing out there, or y'all going to throw quick screen. I mean, there's nothing out there that y'all do that we haven't already seen y'all do in all the other games, and do it like 20 to 30 times in one game. They are like the player you play in Madden that pick the same play.
Oh, Lord.
Because they think like, oh, there's no way you can stop this play, and they just keep calling it over and over again. That's how the Ravens call their offense. I swear their offensive coordinator must be over there getting his plays from Madden and just picking the same play over and over again.
The offense coordinator is Greg Roman. Greg Roman is, and from what I've heard in Raven Nation, a lot of people have a problem with Greg Roman right now. So
because he over playing Madden
100, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Ravens might make an offensive change next year or something like that. But they got to. My main thing is this, and I've been consistent about Lamar Jackson since day one. Until he learns how to throw from the pocket until he learns how to throw from the pocket, he can be the MVP all he wants to running the ball. That's fine. But when it's time to make a throw, when it's necessary, make a Patrick Mahomes type of throw, make a Deshaun Watson type of throw, make a Russell Wilson type of throw, make an Aaron Rodgers type of throw, make a Tom Brady type of throw, he cannot make those throws. I'm not saying that he's a bad person. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but his arm is noodle arm right now.
Well, I would say this. I'll make one argument for him. He can make the throw, but not consistently.
There you go. There you go. I'll say
that's why teams stack the box against him, because they know, you might beat us this one time, but then the next time you're gonna throw a pick or you're gonna overthrow your guy by 10 yards. So,
and that's what I mean by that when it comes to saying those things, as in he can't do something. It's the consistent part. When you're in the NFL, of course, you can do any and everything athletic. We've seen guys from high school, college, and NFL do athletic things, right? All the time. But when it comes to doing them consistently, that's what makes you go from good to great and great to elite.
You're right, sir.
Alrighty then. So before we get up out of here, let's go ahead and check in on the playoff seedings at the moment. The AFC, like I said, at week 13, this is before these games are played. The Steelers are number 1. Chiefs are 2. Titans at 3. Bills are at 4. The Browns are at 5. The Dolphins are at 6. And the Colts are at 7. And like we talked about with the Titans and Browns, this is a very interesting game. This is a playoff matchup type of game right here. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. Like I said, the Colts have a very interesting game with the Texans. They have to win that to stay in the playoff race. The Chiefs should take care of business. Steelers should take care of business. The Bills, we have to wait and see how that goes. And of course, like I said, with the Dolphins, they should take care of business, but we just have to wait and see on that one. NFC at the moment, number 1, Saints, 2, the Packers, 3, the Seahawks, 4, the Giants, 5, the Rams, 6, the Bucks, 7, the Cardinals.
That could change. The Cardinals could be up out of there if they lose.
Oh, it will. No, it's going to change. It's going to change. So
if they lose to the Rams like we think they will, and the Vikings win that game against the Jaguars, get up out of there, Cardinals.
Yeah, but we, like we say it every week, it changes. Just a couple weeks ago it looked different. So we just have to wait and see. Let's get back to the comments right quick before this show is over with. Lloyd said, all the way back to the Packers, when have you known the Cowboys coach have a defense? If you don't mind, Lloyd, can you go ahead and reword that for me? Because I honestly don't know exactly.
He's talking about Mike McCarthy. He's talking about when has he ever had a defense?
My bad. Okay, yes.
And he's telling the truth, except for
when they won the Super Bowl with Charles Woodson and all. That's the only time they had a defense.
But let me say this, except for the fact that they are playing against the Ravens, who, like I said before, they play Madden over there, so they just gonna call the same play over and over again. It's not a hard game plan. Stack the box, let Lamar kill you with his arm. If he does that, I don't think anybody gonna blame you.
No, I definitely agree, Ish. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready for some football. Another hour.
Ooh, man, I'm ready.
I'm about to get my couch ready, about to get my food ready, and it should be a good one. And we will see you guys. I'm about to go watch
church, and then I'm gonna hop up on there.
I'm gonna do that in the future. So what I'm gonna do. What we are going to do, of course, since the game is on Tuesday, the last game is on Tuesday, we will have our recap on Wednesday. We will join you guys on Wednesday morning to do our recap, so we can be able to have that out there for you guys on Wednesday morning. So we'll have a time out there, maybe around 9 or 10, depending on what Ish has to do. I know he's a busy person over there, so we'll figure it out. We'll let everybody know what time we'll be on Wednesday, but our recap for Week 13 will be on Wednesday. So with the Sports Plug with Xavier Williams and Ishmael Siryon, we'll see you guys next time.